In the last video, I showed you how you could record multiple takes and how you can switch between those different takes. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can go a step further and merge different takes together to create one audio file. And it's pretty simple to do once you know how. So here I've got 3 different takes, and as you can see, you can click through these different takes to highlight them. So when I've got take 1 highlighted, it will play take 1 and take 2 and so forth. And as I showed you in the last video on creating takes, if you wanted to keep take 2, for example, and get rid of the other takes, you can highlight take 2, and then you can flatten the take folder to turn it into one audio file of just that take. If you've just come straight to this video and you're not sure how to do that, if you want to, you can go back to the previous video where I go through how to do that. But what if you wanted to have, say, a bit of take 1, a bit of take 2, and for argument's sake, a bit of take 3 as well? Now, you might really like the first half of take 1, for example, but maybe the second half of it wasn't as great, but the second half of take 2 was great, and you wish it was just in one complete take that you were happy with instead of 2 separate takes. Well, there's actually a way to merge takes together, if that's something that you want or need to do. So if I just start off with selecting take 1, if you then click and drag right on another take, you can get a bit of that take as well. And then I'll just tap there. So now take 2 is highlighted. I'll just smooth that out. And now I'm just going to take a few little different bits from the takes. So that's take 1, take 2, and I'll move over to a bit of take 3 now. So if you look at all of that, I've started with take 1, I've moved over to take 2, gone over to take 3, and then I'll just take that back to take 1. Now, you don't need to do it exactly like that. I'm just doing it like this for the sake of this video, just so you can clearly see how it works and how it looks. So yeah, going back to what I was saying before, let's say you really liked the first half of take 1 and you really liked the second half of take 2. Well, you can do that here. And also, let's say you made a tiny little mistake somewhere in the part on take 2 that's highlighted, but otherwise it's fine. What you can do as well is you can quickly switch over to another take where you didn't make that mistake, then switch back over to the take that you were on originally. So yeah, really useful thing to be able to do sometimes. Just be aware though that the transitions won't always be seamless. So if I were to make the transition around here, for example, now, if you listen carefully, you can make out that that's not a completely seamless transition. And that tends to happen when you put the transition in the middle of an ongoing note that someone's singing or playing. So to try and avoid that, try and put your transitions at the start of a section or just before the start of a note, like that. See, that's much better and a lot more seamless, and it's really hard to tell that there's even a transition going on there. So to test it, just take it back, play it back. If it sounds like one take, you've done a good job. If not, if it sounds noticeably disjointed, you might want to go back and change where you're putting that transition. And remember, the aim is to make it sound like it was done in one take. Now you can just leave this as it is if you wanted to, and close the drop-down menu. See, that there is where the transition is taking place. Or to save on file space, if you're sure that you're done with any tweaking and you're not going to change it anymore, what you can then do is merge these takes together into one audio file. So once you've decided that you want that and that, this stuff in grey isn't being played and it's just taking up extra space. So what you do to merge them is you go up to where this A is, and you want to do flatten and merge. So not flatten, like I did in the previous video. That's for when you've chosen one complete take and you're getting rid of all the other complete takes. Flatten and merge is for when you've made transitions between your takes. So this will flatten the take folder into one audio file, and it will merge the highlighted parts of the takes into one audio file. So if I click that, that's now one audio file, and it's as if you did it in one take. Remember though, only do that if you're completely sure with what you've chosen to go with, because obviously once you've flattened and merged, the bits of the takes that were grayed out have disappeared, they're now gone. So you can't really go back without undoing actions or going back to a previously saved version of your project. So yeah, only do it if you're happy with that take and you're willing to put the unused parts in the trash and not go back to them. So if I listen back to it, so you can't really tell that that's actually two takes stitched together at that point. So yeah, in conclusion, that's how you can merge different takes together into one complete audio file.